Man, it's Taco Tuesday. It's NBA Tuesday, right? I think there's a game going on. The Los Angeles Lakers, I believe, against the Denver Nuggets. I don't know what the score is, and apparently the NBA had a lottery, right? So they're going through their draft process. Congratulations to the Spurs fans out there. I know that they got the is it
Number one,
correct me if I'm
number
wrong.
number one overall.
Number one overall. So they actually won. So shout out to them. But hey, here on East West Football, we're all about the football, and this is gonna be a little quick little segment. We have been able to kind of really soak in what the NFL's done in essence, and we're gonna give you just a top five selection of the 2023 power rankings. Of course, we've seen some out there right now. We have some by ESPN, but Walt and Kendall, let's not waste any time, man. What do you like so far? Give me your top five teams in this power ranking.
Want to go first? You want me to go first?
I
All right,
guess
cool.
go first, Walt.
I'm gonna say this. I think Kansas City is still the best team in football, but Cincinnati's closed the gap on them a lot. I like what Cincinnati's done in the draft the last 2 seasons, last couple off seasons. I give Kansas City kind of the nod for two reasons. For one, they got Pat Mahomes, the best player in football right now. And also they play in a not so tougher division. They're the gods of that division right now. And you look at Cincinnati has to consistently battle with Baltimore, crosstown rivals in Cleveland. Also, the Steelers. The Steelers are always, even when they're bad, they're still around 9 wins, 8 wins. So you're gonna get a tough game, a tough effort, violent effort out of Mike Tomlin and his team. So, but I will say this: adding Miles Murphy, adding DJ Turner, being able to add Orlando Brown Jr. from Kansas City. The Bengals ain't playing around, man. I wouldn't be shocked if they got really close to going right back, honestly. So like I said, I got Cincinnati number 2. I think they're the second best team in football. I think they're better than Philly overall, considering both sides of the football. I got Philly third, not too far behind Cincinnati. Then when you get to like that fourth team, there's a lot going on in the NFC right now, but I don't think the second best team in the NFC is better than the third or fourth best team in the AFC. Being honest about it. Because, when we get to the second best team in the NFC, what you talking about, maybe Frisco, maybe Dallas. Who else? Aaron Rodgers is no longer there with the Green Bay Packers, so they're out of it. No one really considers the Minnesota Vikings, honestly, after last year's 13-3 meltdown. So things are really confusing right now in the NFC. So if you go back over to the AFC, I think Buffalo is better than whoever you want to plug in. That's the second best team in the NFC. Also, can't say Patriots.
Come on, Walt.
I won't say Patriots. I won't say Jets either. Honestly, I don't know if that Jets thing is gonna work either. I would say, if we had to go through those teams, I would say Baltimore. I think if Lamar stays healthy, they got him some serious weapons over there, some guys to get the ball to. Keep him in the pocket a little bit more, slow down with the RPO a little bit, recognize that you just made a serious investment in this young man and it's your best interest to keep him healthy. So the best way to keep Lamar healthy is to keep him in the pocket, let him throw from the pocket, let him distribute the football. I think it's time for Lamar to mature on the football field when it comes to him being a distributor of the football like his counterparts. If he can become that, Baltimore, I think, is that one team that could potentially spoil the party in the AFC.
So we got a comment real quick, Walt and Kendall. This is Bobby Drake 313. We're gonna give you a round of applause.
No, he's not. No, he's not, Tristan. No, he's not. No, I know exactly who that. No, Frisco isn't.
He says Niners are the second best team in the AFC. Now I believe
he genuinely feels that though, with no quarterback.
But
with no quarterback, he feels Shanahan is that good.
I believe he meant NFC, right? But
no, he meant that he was saying that Frisco would be the second best team in the AFC.
Oh, I get him now.
Which I don't believe that at all.
It's kind of hard, but I think that this year is going to be a very telling team, a very telling.
Do you think Frisco's better than Cincinnati?
No, look, he's saying he meant the NFC. So, and the NFC, yeah, their defense is pretty solid, but we're going to see because
but they're always hurt too.
We don't know about Brock Purdy. We don't know about Trey Lance. We know about Sam Darnold, but the one thing is Kyle Shanahan has been that guru, that quarterback guru. So he might have a point there. Kendall, what do you give me your top 5 power rankings right now entering the 2023 NFL season?
Yes. Entering 2023 NFL season. I like Walt's list, real good list. My number one team, I'm going with the Patriots for no, I'm just messing around. But the Chiefs are the number one team in the AFC. Walt got it right. I'm going with Philly at the second spot. I believe you had Cincinnati. I'm going with Philadelphia. Yeah. Like they did this also. They did lose a lot. They did gain a lot in the draft. Number 3, I'm gonna go Cincinnati. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. At the 4th, I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills. No, I'm going San Francisco. San Francisco 4 and Buffalo at 5. I really think the moves that Buffalo made, and they lost Singletary, lost Edmonds, Micah Hyde coming back from the neck injury. Poyer, they did resign Poyer. They lost somebody. I believe they resigned Milano. Did they leave? Yeah, they got Milano coming back. They lost the slot Isaiah McKenzie, but I like what I've seen for Khalil Shakir. I really think he's one of my players to take a big leap this year. And then in the draft, they got Dalton Kincaid traded up for him. So I think that Buffalo Bills, they're going to do something there. They continue to add talent. And then we're still 4 months away from the season.
Oh, yeah.
So they might make a trade for D Hop. Might do it. They might add somebody else. So I like what Buffalo did. Their team there. I think they'll take a small step back, but I think you got Josh Allen. He can kind of subside a lot of your issues there and whatnot. So I think they'll be fine. I agree with you, Walt, about with the Jets. I don't not believe in the hype this year. Aaron Rodgers, you don't know if he's in or out, or if he's both. You just don't know about him. Of course, the Patriots are not in the top 5, not in the top 10. So I mean, that's we know that. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Kansas City, Philly, Cincinnati, San Francisco, then Buffalo. They're at 5, and Baltimore. I love what they did in the draft. I love what they did this offseason. If I had to take a team out and slide Baltimore in, I'd put Buffalo. But the Baltimore Ravens, I think they could be they possibly could be playing on championship Sunday next year against whoever. I'm telling you, I like what they did, and then they got they can be here. They should be healthy. Lamar's back. Hopefully he's rejuvenated. They got the weapons, and they nobody's talking about it, but they got an OC from Georgia or whatnot. So I think I like what Baltimore did, and they finally put some talent. I mean, what an offseason from Baltimore. Gave Lamar a contract and gave him some pieces in the draft and in free agency. I think Baltimore, they've made some big moves, and I think they'll be playing on championship Sunday next year.
I like both of y'all's list. I really do. Bobby Drake 313 Big may not be the best team in their division, so I don't know what he meant. I think there was a little bit of a typo there. But if you could clarify which team it is that is not the best.
Put on
team.
your glasses.
Probably Buffalo. I think you meant Buffalo.
Buffalo. Well, let's take a look. Let's look at right now, right? Because we gotta. I mean, obviously, we have so many outlets. Duh, it's the internet, right? ESPN has their power rankings. They say Kansas City Chiefs are number 1. This is because of what they were able to do in the offseason, and they improved on their edge rush with the additions of Charles Omenihu and Felix Aniki Azuma. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. Cincinnati Bengals at 2. They definitely helped out their offensive tackle with Orlando Brown Jr. and of course I believe Jonah Williams.
Missed one guy too, Chase Brown, the running back from Illinois that they got in the mid-round. He runs hard, and he runs exactly the way they need him, a running back, to run behind that offensive line. So
and he's fast too. He has speed. 3 is the Philadelphia Eagles, right? And the biggest, I believe ESPN said that the biggest thing for the Eagles was that they needed to bring back cornerback, or they needed cornerback help, but they were able to sign James Bradbury and Darius Slay, so they gave them the thumbs up on that one. Then they have the Buffalo Bills at 4, that they just improved their offense. That's just what it says with Dalton Kincaid, and Osiris Torrance, the offensive guard from Florida. And then, of course, ranked 5th is the 49ers. And what they improved was their defensive tackle with Javon, I believe with Javon Hargrave, I guess, alongside Eric Armstead. And then, of course, they did have the Dolphins at 6, Cowboys at 7, Ravens at 8, the Chargers at 9, and the Jaguars at 10. That's why I want to like get to those names real quick. He says Buffalo may not be the best team in their division. New York Jets and Miami are both tough. I think for the most part, who wants to chime in on that? I will say this: it's hard to dethrone Buffalo just because A-Rod came in. I think.
I mean, but they did lose some key players with Devin Singletary, Edmonds. They lost a couple more pieces. They did Isaiah McKenzie. They lost some pivotal players that played big roles. Then they got Von Miller coming back from the injury. Tre'Davious White be a 4-year recovery from here. I don't know. Let's see what they got in Kamir Elam. He had an up and down season this past year at that second cornerback spot. DeMar Hamlin returning from his situation. Ed Oliver, is he okay, happy with his contract? I mean, there's a lot going on there in Buffalo as well. And how do they replace Tremaine Edmonds? How they going to replace him? So I think, Buffalo, it's very interesting there. Miami, I think they're close with Buffalo talent-wise, but they got questions at quarterback. Rodgers and the Jets. I mean, is he in it or is he out? Like I just said, or whatnot. And then this is like he's new to this. He's been in OTAs and stuff with the Jets, but he's learning a new system and whatnot. It takes time. It's not going to be smooth sailing. So I mean, and then I think those two, Buffalo, the Jets, Miami, and the Patriots, all those teams, they're going to beat themselves up in that division. They're going to beat up themselves in that division. So, and of course, I had to throw my Patriots in there too. Nobody's talking about it, but yeah, they're going to beat themselves up in that division, man. A lot of the division games going to be early. I think the Jets start out with in Miami. No, they start out against Buffalo. So,
well, let's go ahead and round this off, right? I know that we are all kind of seeing the top 3. I think are almost a consensus, right? With Eagles, Bengals, Chiefs, right? I think that's been our consensus. I think all the way around. I think it's easy for us to kind of feel that that's it. But from all the teams that we've talked about so far, and I think I'm the only one that mentioned the Cowboys, which team has brought back the most identical team to the 2022 team? If you guys could answer that question for me, because it's good when you're bringing all these nice little new pieces, but they got to fit the puzzle, man. And I think when you're going into any offseason and you've had a successful season, let's say you made it to the playoffs and whatnot, don't you think that the strength and the power ranking should be on which team brought in the same team?
No. What if the team was trash?
But
not necessarily trash. What if the team was average? Like you got to improve too.
We're talking about top 5. From those top 5,
but I mean,
who brought back the identical 2022 team?
Oh, nobody. All 5 of those teams lost some people. Like they lost some key people. Even Cincinnati lost Jesse Bates. Well, they chose to not pay him, but Bates was a big loss for them.
So for instance, the example I'm trying to move to is we can debate the AFC all we want, but let's kind of focus in and let's kind of trigger down which team from the top 10 that I just read out, which team brought back an identical version of themselves in 2022, because these are the ones that made it to the playoffs: Chiefs, Bengals, Eagles, Bills, 49ers, Dolphins, and the Cowboys, Ravens, Chargers, and Jaguars.
Oh, 49ers. They brought back the same old stale-ass team.
But don't it seem like the 49ers always they add a few pieces, but then they remain the same, but they always end up in the NFC Championship game or something like that. So I mean, they're one of those teams that they stay kind of, I want to say they don't really make a lot of moves in free agency because they have a good young team. But it seems like every year they're somewhere lurking around in the NFC Championship game. They're always a player or two away. It's always something. And I think maybe next year 49ers might be the year when they get over the hump or whatnot.
Bobby Drake wants to say that McCarthy calling plays for Dallas is an instant downgrade.
Ooh.
Now, well, go ahead and tell me what from that question I asked, which one has the most complete team from or the same team, I'm sorry, from 2022 that had success in the playoffs?
Yeah, I would say San Francisco, even
San
though they
I'm sorry.
yeah,
You said San Fran.
yeah.
Kendall, which one are you agreeing with him on that one, or is there a
I
team
would
that
go San Fran. The Chiefs too. I don't. The Chiefs they lost a little bit, but they
Yeah.
didn't really change too much. I mean, they added a receiver in the draft. They lost Juju Smith-Schuster, Frank Clark, but other than that, I mean, and Brown or whatnot. But I mean, other than that, who? I mean, they bring it back most of the same from a skill position standpoint. Anyway,
What y'all think about Juwan Taylor at tackle?
well
Like, is he? You
they
think
paid
he's
him
a downgrade?
They played him well. They paid him some good
I
money.
mean, I don't think he's anywhere as good as Orlando Brown. I would have preferred to see Orlando for at least for for Patrick. I would have preferred to see him stay there, but he kind of played himself out because he turned down a bigger deal at the end of 2021, bet on himself, and wound up getting less money in 2022 because this offseason nobody believed in paying anybody. So everybody kind of got the shaft this offseason. So, but I do think Orlando's going to be great for Cincinnati. But I do agree, the Kansas City did bring back pretty much the same team. Just added some more pass rush ability, add a few other players. I would like to see them add a legit receiver, honestly.
They did lose Orlando, right?
Mm-hmm. But they expect Sky Moore to take some big steps this year also.
I like Rashid Rice. I mean, they got Rice.
Yeah, I heard he's been playing well also. Not playing well, but he's been well in
yeah, but it's shorts and shirts
and catching footballs.
Hey, last year, I mean, come on. Every year, there's always every team has a camp standout.
Everybody looks good.
I'm pretty sure though. Let's go ahead and go with a little bit of a consensus, and let's go a little deeper. I think like Jacksonville, they're pretty much the same team. You can give it to the Ravens. I would also probably want to give a little bit of it to the Dolphins. You got to give the 49ers some love. I think the Cowboys almost have the identical team, except for the exception of Zeke Elliott. But I mean, we saw the decline in his play. But I think any one of those teams, from those names, which one do you like from what they were able to retain from their 2020 season, and with the additions going into the 2023 season?
I like Baltimore. Yeah. I like Baltimore. I like what they brung in. They didn't lose too much, but I like Baltimore. I think they're probably one of the most improved teams with everything that they had going on. So yeah, I go with Baltimore, the Ravens.
What do you think, Walt?
I like Cincinnati. I just keep going back to I like also the Charlie Jones acquisition.
Yeah.
From Purdue. I think he's gonna play a long time in this league. And Joe Burrow is perfect for him, and I think he's gonna be perfect for Joe Burrow.
Well,
and I want to talk about these Dolphins, man. Somebody was just giving the Dolphins a whole lot of love on here recently.
They really have.
Was it Bobby Drake? It might have been Bobby Drake, man. This is my question about Miami: speed.
They have a
lot.
lot.
What do you do? What do you do when it's December and that quarterback who can barely throw the ball 35 yards down the field, and the surface is slick? The surface is slick, and you got all these midget receivers running around, and you got a midget running back in A-Chain that you figure you're going to give him the ball, and he's only 185 pounds. Like I don't understand I understand what they're doing. McDaniels is building his team exactly in his vision. I just question whether or not the team he envisions is going to be a team that's sustainable winning wise. I don't see it. You're not gonna play all your games in Miami, Florida. Like that's not the way it works. You still gotta make visits up to cold ass New York for Buffalo and the Jets. Let's be honest. You still got to go to cold ass Connecticut for the Patriots. You mess around, come playoffs. You still got to go to cold ass Cincinnati because Cincinnati gets very cold in January. Very cold.
It's called the Windy City.
Yes. You may have to go to Baltimore. It gets cold in Baltimore, Maryland.
That would be Boston, Massachusetts for the Patriots, not Connecticut. For just
yeah. Same difference. Seahawks.
Mike
I thought it said Matt Patricia at first. I was about to have a heart attack, man. Matt, what are you doing here?
Well, Mike Portia says the Seahawks, right?
I like Seattle too. That's kind of sad because we kind of beefing with them right now. So,
man,
but yes, Seattle got a ton of talent, man.
And Geno, I mean, shoot, I mean, last year he had it looks like they're trying to make sure that Geno has a doesn't die off that cliff, you know, that he just fell off the cliffhanger in the back end. I think with Jackson Smith and Jigba, he's really going to help out Geno. I think he would have helped out
perfect match. Perfect,
because that guy
with DK and Lockett out there, or DK and Estridge. He's gonna be. He's gonna. If he's healthy, he's probably a consistent 100-ball guy every year.
Yeah, man, that's what we're talking about. But it is very, very early, right? He got more weapons. Yes, he does. And you're talking about. You can even say the defense just got a lot better with Tariq Woolen and Devin Witherspoon, and then Kobe Bryant from a year ago. A year ago's draft. I'm sorry.
Quandre Diggs on the back end, and
he goes. Geno duplicating his performance is questionable. This is Bobby Jarek. Bobby, I'll tell you this much right now: with a wide receiver like Jackson Smith and Jigba, that's not going to happen. Jackson Smith and Jigba is a very smart wide receiver. He knows how to read defenses, and he will tell his quarterback, "I'm going to be open right here. Give me the ball right here, and I'll make you look good."
Well, also Kenneth Walker.
And Kenneth Walker,
and Charbonnet,
you can even throw in there. What was the other one from Kenny McIntosh from Georgia in the 7th round?
Yeah.
I mean, they're loaded. Seahawks are definitely loaded. Well, that's it for us, man. I mean, we got to get back to. I mean, some of us want to get back to basketball, but we want to come in here and show a little love. Remember, please subscribe, turn on notifications, let you know when we go live. Walt, give them your plug. Where they stay tuned for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. Find us on YouTube at the Av Lions, and the page is Detroit Lions Avenue. And matter of fact, join us soon. And probably the next 10 minutes, we'll be breaking down one of our draft prospects. Well, not prospects, but draft picks. That's Broderick Martin, defensive tackle from the University of Western Kentucky. Played with Bailey Zappi.
Where do people go find out the best Patriots content out there?
Yes, sir. Ken's Pats Talk. That's on Instagram, Twitter, and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube.
Hey,
right, it's at the bottom of the screen right there.
What do you say? Lions win game 1.
Matt Patricia, is that you?
And of course, you can find me and Harvey Zuniga, or Javier Zuniga, on the Cowboys Cast, all Dallas Cowboys. But here on East West Football, we talk about all football, right? We put our bias aside, even the Patriots, even the Lions, and even the Cowboys. It's going to be an exciting year. We can't wait for football. Stay tuned. Like I said, subscribe, of course, here on East West, and of course on all our channels. Thank y'all, and y'all have a good evening.